You should have said that to them earlier. As I was leaving? Oh, please don't remind me. I wish I could start all over. Just go out of the fire and into the fire again. They make me want to forget and start all over. What? Alrighty, welcome back, any and everybody. This is Lynn and Otter, here to do another episode of Lyre. And unfortunately, this is not going to be my first reaction to this. If you follow me on Twitter or saw the YouTube post, you'll know that I actually recorded, I read a good chunk of, basically I sat there reading for about 45 minutes and then only to find out that I never recorded any of it. So just gonna go through it again. Apologies, but it's been almost a week actually. I can't say I forgot everything that happened, but we're gonna do this all from the start. After a really embarrassing moment, and now I have to relive that. And you have to relive it with me too then. Let's see. I do know where we left off. Storming out of the party after trying to go in for a kiss with Lyall. Did not work out. People were, talking. Yeah. I may be slightly drunk, but it's nothing compared to how drunk I feel from telling everyone off like that. The power fades, though, as everything settles in. Oh, I can't believe this. Is there a problem with interspecies relationships in Lyre? Now that I really think about it, I've never seen one here before. I look back on all the times I've seen a couple, and I realize that they've all been the same species. I guess I never really questioned it, because it didn't stand out much. Why, though? Why is it such a problem? It happens all the time in Erin. I've had my fair share of experiences with several different species. And I know so many people who are with different species. Some of them are even married. They can't have kids, but that's not what it's about. I walk through the halls and run my hand along the wall. Anytime I come across a picture frame, I trace the bottom of the frame with my fingers. I think back to the look on Lyle's face when we had stopped dancing. I think about how he looked that whole time. Every facial expression blends into one. Confliction. I must have put him in a pretty uncomfortable position, being so forward like that. I think about the way he looked so nervous and scared. All this time I thought he was just shy. My pace slows and I feel my eyes start to water. F*** all of them. Oh, that was so embarrassing. I never want to see another noble's face again. With their stuck-up attitude and pride. I'm just going to do my job and focus on what matters. Richter! I hear Lyall call my name down the hall. It echoes across the halls of the corridor. His voice gives me the sense he's worried, but I really don't want to be seen like this right now. I can't even remember the last time I cried. I run further down the hall and reach a dead end. There's a door off to my left that I recognize. This is the tunnel that leads to the village. Richter, I know you said you wanted to talk about it later, but please, I'm really sorry. I run into the tunnel and quickly close the door behind me. It's extremely dark in here. I'm not even able to see silhouettes. Not to mention, since it's night, I can't even see the light up ahead. I feel my way around and find the wall of the tunnel. It's really cold. After steadying myself, I start to move forward, touching the wall and being careful not to trip. The noise of water drops hitting the floor is almost therapeutic. I step into a puddle of water and, for a moment, I think that I can see light. To test it, I take a step again and notice the water starting to glow. What the hell? I bend down and touch the water with my bare fingers. It's warm, Little swirls of glowing water show light in the area around me. What the hell is going on here? I've heard of water doing this before, but isn't that in the ocean? What's it doing down here? I take another step and use the light to guide my way through the tunnel. This only works for a few feet though, because the puddle is only so big. I steady myself on the wall again and work my way toward the exit. Judging by how long it's been, I should be getting close. I don't even know why I'm still walking anymore. I've stopped crying, and I really want to go back inside. The air in here is freezing, and if I remember correctly, the trapdoor at the end is locked. I'm too far in over my head now, so I just keep going. I am completely sure that if I somehow get lost, Lyall will sniff me out. He was already hot on my trail after I had left the party. Suddenly, I trip over a dip in the terrain and fall onto a set of wooden steps. I manage to catch myself with my hands, and aside from the initial shock, I'm not hurt. I look up, and I can see the faintest light breaking through the crack in the trapdoor. Climbing the steps slowly, I reach up and press my hand to the bottom of the door. The wood is cold and dusty. It opens. Did Lyall forget to lock it? No, I swear I remember him locking this. He wouldn't forget. Dust falls off of the door as I lift it up. The first thing I see is snow falling gracefully from the night sky. It's much warmer up here. Everyone's candles and torches are lit, so I assume they're inside of their homes. There are a few people walking down the streets, but the village square isn't nearly as crowded as it was 2 days ago. I look up and see the lanterns burning with vitality fire. The area around them is almost completely devoid of snow. As it falls from the sky and hits the ground, the snowflakes dissipate and melt onto the cobblestone. I find a warm spot in the alley and sit down. I bring my knees up to my chin and wrap my arms around my legs. The lower half of my face is buried in my scarf, but I can still see snowflakes fall onto the back sleeves of my suit and melt. At this point, I don't really have any thoughts. I just feel like falling asleep here. I'm also waiting for that trapdoor to open any moment and for Lyall to come crawling through. I regret leaving him at the party. This whole situation just makes me feel so stupid. I don't know what's right or wrong anymore. All I know is that as a soldier I must fulfill my duties to the bitter end. Funny how I can still remember some of the same jokes I made the first time I read this. Just kind of, I guess because, it just, just comes to me. But, anywho. I feel like I'm at fault, but I also wish someone would have warned me. I don't know. I feel so stupid right now. Everyone's always telling me how clever I am, but sometimes I feel like it's on accident. Just like how I always forget to turn my timer on. I don't do it on purpose, I swear. Okay, to be fair, sometimes I did. It's kind of fun to have the character say something about it. Anywho, after sitting on the ground for a few more minutes, I hear distant mumbling. It's a low and quiet voice that sounds sad. It's coming from the fountain. I shuffle closer to the corner of the building I'm leaning against and lean around it. It's Adrius. The hell is he doing here? Is that why the door was unlocked? He's sitting at the fountain and looking up at the statue of his mother. I can see him mumbling to himself, rubbing the rim of the fountain with his ungloved hand. The water around the fountain is glowing a light blue. I'm starting to think that the spring water here has some sort of luminescent quality to it. I watch him continue to talk to the statue, almost as if it was actually her. It reminds me of when people pray to their gods. How they sit down at an altar and talk to it as if it's some sort of vessel they can use to communicate with the being. This is different, though. This isn't his god, though. It's his mother. I looked for a bit longer before I realized that I probably shouldn't have seen this, especially lurking in an alley. I hear the trapdoor open at the end of the alley and turn to see Lyall poke his head out of the entrance. He has a blanket in his arm. There you are. He closes the door softly and walks up to me. Are you okay? No, not really. I'll be fine, though. Are you going to be okay? Yes. After you left, I didn't want to be there. Everyone kept looking at me, and a few people actually questioned me about it. I'm sorry for leaving you there. I just really didn't want to be around anyone after that. I don't know how to feel, but everything just seems so confusing. I really do like you, though. I see a small glimmer of a smile on his face. Richter, it's fine. I know. He takes the blanket and wraps it around my shoulders. Let's go back to the castle. Even with the vitality lanterns, it's too cold out here. Okay. He leads me to the tunnel, and I look back towards the direction of the fountain. Adrius is probably still sitting there. Something wrong? No. I just have a lot on my mind. He opens the door to the tunnel and leads me down the stairs. Yes, me too. He lowers the door, and it closes with a resounding thud. I can hear him locking the door, and then a few seconds later, he gently takes my hand in his paw. After leaving the tunnel, we walk down the corridors for a bit. Oops. His paw rests behind his back shyly as he carries on by my side. We haven't spoken a word since we left the tunnel. My clothes are a bit damp, and the shoulders of Lyle's suit are also a bit wet. I wish the ball hadn't ended like that. He gives a sigh of agreement and nods. Yes, I hoped it would have gone better. Even at parties, the nobility refused to let loose, as others would. If letting loose means being less ignorant, I wouldn't expect them to do it outside of parties either. Lyall snorts and lets out a laugh that echoes up the hall ahead of us. Oh, Richter, oh my God. You should have said that to them earlier. As I was leaving? Oh, please don't remind me. I wish I could start all over. Just go out of the fire and into the fire again. They make me want to forget and start all over. What? We round the corner and there's another long hall, torches lining the walls with bright blue flames. We could. What? Start over? He stares back at me with those big eyes of his and holds out his paw. I'm not exactly sure what he has in mind, but my curiosity suppresses my mood. Sure. A smile lifts his cheeks, and he takes my hand in his paw, pulling it forward and getting down onto one knee. I remember thinking, is he going to propose? I was like, wait, what? May I have this dance? Dance? Yes. Right here. I look up and down the hall, craning my head over my shoulder. The corridor is completely empty, the only noise being the sound of the fires flickering about. What about the music? The music won't start until we begin dancing. I bite my cheek in confusion, but the curiosity becomes overwhelming. Okay. Before the word can even fully escape my mouth, he rises from his kneeling position and begins to guide me through a dance. Oh, it was so cute. It's nothing like the one from before. Then, he begins to slowly hum to himself. I can jiggle if I want to. Leave my friends behind. Because my friends don't cry, my friends dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. Just start singing something crazy. His soft voice rumbles up through his chest like someone playing the bass. It's not a waltz. It's unlike anything I've ever heard. As we spiral down the hall, our feet coming close enough to step on each other's toes, but never making contact, he picks up the pace. We're practically sprinting down the corridor at this point, prancing about like fools. No audience, no rules, just the two of us. He takes both of my hands in his large paws and begins to circle around me. I follow suit, and soon we're spinning in circles. The entire time we do this, he's laughing while humming a tune. It sounds like a typical waltz. I also break out into a fit of laughter. He lets go of my left hand and twirls me in his paw. I stumble a bit, tripping back on the back of my coat, and he laughs. As I steady myself, my face flushes red, and I look up at him. Oh my gosh, I remember thinking, and definitely still thinking, this would make an adorable animatic. Like, it's a shame there's no imagery to go with this. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll have to make this myself somehow. We'll see. Oh my gosh. Too cute. He's got a paw over his muzzle, trying to stop himself from laughing. I playfully lunge at him and push him against the stone wall. Oh right, I was like, what the? I just remember the mental image I had. It's basically of them dancing, and he just just gets super aggressive and just slams him against the wall like a bully against the lockers or something. I was like, what? But anyway, he doesn't budge at first, but along with his help, his back presses into the wall. I press both of my hands to the wall behind him and look up into his eyes. Suddenly, there's a noise a bit further up the hall. Before I can react, Lyall pulls me to the side and we move behind a pillar. He holds me against his body tightly, and I look up to see his ears twitch. I can hear the footsteps pass by up ahead, but they continue on, not venturing in our direction. Before they're even out of earshot, Lyall and I look at each other and begin laughing uncontrollably. I imagine what it would have been like for one of those stuck-up pricks to find us, sweaty and out of breath, wandering down the corridor. Just as we're coming down from our hysterics, a thought crosses my mind. Ah. What is it? We're going to have to pass by the ballroom to get back to my room, right? Oh, yes. We could. What? We could go back to my bedchambers for a bit. It's not far from here, and we won't run into anyone. Sure. But only if you want to. That sounds nice. I have a really nice fireplace in my room, too. We could play some Nintendo. I could bring out some of the Doritos. I might need a moment to clean up because, some of my streaming setup is in the corner, but don't worry about it. The servants have probably already lit it, so it should be nice and warm. The fireplace, I mean. So, if you're okay with it, it's this way. Lyall! that was so cute. Yes. I said it was fine. Oh, yes. Sorry, I get carried away sometimes. Hey, it's okay. I'm not bothered by it. He takes my hand and leads me down a hallway I think I've been down before. I can't believe I haven't seen his room yet. That should be a good place to talk about what's happened. Yes, talk. We arrive at a door and he fumbles with his keys. Sorry. He finds the right key and unlocks the door. Warm air rushes into my face as he holds the door open for me. Oh, wow. My senses immediately get overrun by the color red. He steps past me as I stand by the doorway and walks over to his bedside table. Lots of red.
Oh, yes. I love red. It's my favorite color.
Really?
Of course. I like it because it's warm and vibrant. It's also just nice to look at.
Speaking of look, I watch him fumble with some of the things on his dresser and take this moment to look around. He's hiding the bottle of lubricant or something. So let me get this out of the way.
Oh shoot, sorry. I told you I'm a little messy.
Which actually I think he is. The fireplace is really nice, and I can feel the warmth of the fire wrapping around my legs. Above the mantel is a big painting. It's a dynamic portrait of a wolf warrior shrouded in a hood. He looks a bit like Lyall, but his fur is more of a reddish color. Sparks fly up around his figure, and the painting almost looks menacing. I turn my gaze down and notice a brush sitting on the mantel. There's a few long hairs sticking out of it. I guess this is what Lyall uses to tame that mane of his. I put down the brush and explore the other side of the room. Lyall seems pretty occupied right now. I see him throwing a bunch of stuff into a drawer, like his pairs of underwear or something. It's so cute. It's like he's having a girl over for the first time. I didn't notice until I got closer, but his bed is massive. It's probably a normal size for him, but to me it's huge. And so is everything. The fact that it's a canopy bed doesn't help. I'm pretty sure this room and everything in it was built for larger animals. I look over to Lyall and see what's behind him. Are those your drawings?
Yeah. They're just sketches, though. Nothing really great to look at.
I lean around and take a look at some of the drawings. Oh, wow! Lyall, these are really good!
Thanks.
He steps to the side and I walk up to the wall where his drawings are. Each one is an intricate sketch. Paws, flowers, there's even a drawing of a mountain landscape. Closer to the bottom is a self-portrait. I can imagine Lyall sitting in front of a mirror drawing himself. I don't think I could do that. I've never been that artistically inclined. He's smiling in the portrait and looks really cute. On the table is a couple of sketchbooks, some coins, and a dagger stuck into a spot where I can see he stabbed it multiple times. I think back to the people in brothels throwing their knives into the bar counter out of boredom. There's also some lit candles that aren't even in candle holders. Their wax spills out onto the top of the dresser and dries up. I guess he's a bit of a slob. The one part that stands out the most, though, is a large piece of parchment. There's a map of Tigrin drawn on it. It's extremely detailed right down to every village.
Oh, don't read that. You may like my drawings, but my handwriting is not pretty.
Your handwriting is very good. Don't put yourself down. There's a bunch of red marks on different parts of the map. What are those for? I point to one of the marks.
Oh, those. Those are all the places I want to go to. Like the other two kingdoms and Nero's clearing. I also really want to go here.
He points to a place on the map that's just above Erin.
I've heard that this river is beautiful during the summer.
I've been there before. The Lord's Bend is a beautiful river. I didn't get to see much of it though, but from what I saw, it's nice. He guides his finger down to an island off the coast of Dries.
Have you been here?
I take a closer look, but I instantly know what he's looking at. The parched labyrinth? No, I can't say I have. Like you, I've only been to places near or just outside of Erin. Although, I've heard that it's very dangerous there. I'm pretty sure it's an almost uninhabitable jungle.
I want to go there someday. Just to see it.
Maybe one of your duties will take you there. You never know. He stares at the map with a dreamy look in his eyes.
I hope so.
I look at the other spots that he's marked, and one stands out to me. Lover's Lake?
Huh? Oh, yes. I wanted to see that lake eventually. Because it's shaped like a heart.
He looks down at the ground and sits on the bed, letting out a big sigh.
I'm sorry for earlier.
Lyall, I said you don't have to apologize.
No, I do. I shouldn't have even tried. I didn't know that people would be listening. That was a conversation that we should have had here.
It's me who should be apologizing. I shouldn't have been so... you know. But I swear, I had no idea about the stigma of interspecies relationships.
I believe you. But yes, interspecies relationships are a bit taboo in Lyre. Most of the general public finds it a bit weird. In some cases it's acceptable, but a human and a wolf? Oh, forget it. We'd be the laughingstock of the entire kingdom.
Wow. I had no idea it was like that. Word of Lyre doesn't spread much outside of the kingdoms, and it's definitely nothing like that in Erin.
Really?
Of course. It's completely normal. Even with the large human population, people still fall in love with other species.
Huh, no kidding.
He falls back onto his bed and sighs.
I need to get out of this kingdom.
Speaking of kingdom, what about the party? Shouldn't you be doing your job there? Not that I'm not enjoying your company. His tail swishes between his legs, rubbing up against the bed sheets.
Nah, I got someone to cover for me. It's fine.
For just a moment, all that can be heard is the fireplace, the crackling of the logs and the dancing of the flames. You know, you never did answer my question. He sits up in his bed, and we're now eye level. What were you hoping I would respond with?
Oh,
It's okay. You probably already know how I feel about you. It's painfully obvious. I feel my throat tighten as these next words come out. I don't care what anybody thinks. I only care about what you think. Because as far as I'm concerned, you're the only person that I genuinely care about. I love you, Lyall. Everything about you. His eyes widen, and I can feel myself getting nervous. That taste hits the back of my throat that usually happens when I'm on an adrenaline rush, or when I'm scared. I wouldn't have made it through these past couple of weeks without you. And damn everyone in this castle and their prejudice. My hands are fidgeting, and I catch myself intertwining my fingers together. My legs are shaking, and I feel like I'm about to vomit. If you don't want to be together because of what people might think, I understand. I could care less about my reputation, but I wouldn't want to damage yours. If that's the way it has to be, then before I even know it, Our lips have met and he's passionately kissing. Sorry, oh my god. Deja vu. I was like, no, wait, I have to keep reading this seriously. Before I even know it, our lips have met and he's passionately kissing me. My heart skips a beat and I freeze up. His lips are warm and press into mine firmly. I kiss him back, and soon we're lustfully embracing each other. I exhale out of my nose and wrap my arms around him. I'm now, oh geez, I forgot this went from like cute to like, okay, this is getting a bit kind of steamy for YouTube. I'm now sitting on top of him as he leans back further onto the bed. Oof, his tongue slowly works its way past my lips and I succumb to his desires. There's no holding back as we explore each other. I can feel his sharp teeth on my mouth and it feels weird, but good. His slightly wet nose presses against mine, and I feel a puff of hot breath on my face. We both open our eyes and pull back to take a breath. He envelops me in a tight hug and pulls me down onto the bed. His warm embrace feels too good, and as I hug him back, I lose myself in his warmth. I'm grinning ear to ear and feel myself lost in passionate thoughts. The sound of his tail rapidly thumping against the bed is pure bliss. Oh, that's so cute. He tightens his grip and kisses me on the forehead.
I love you, Richter. You're the best thing that has ever happened to me.
His cheeks are a deep red, and he has this awkward smile on his face. It's like he's been wanting to say those words all day. I feel the exact same way. I roll over on top of him and give him another kiss. It's not as long as the one before, but he enjoys it just as much.
Oh!
What is it?
Someone's a little excited. Someone's a little excited.
Oh gosh, okay, so, I mean, I think at this point, I'm kinda gonna skip through some stuff. He nods down to below my legs area, and I finally realize that I'm almost full mast, tenting in my pants and somewhat jabbing him in the stomach. He's smirking at me, and I get a bit flustered. Hee hee. Tee. Ah, geez, I guess you're just a really good kisser.
I am.
His tail wags more, thumping against the bed. I move my hand down to his nether regions and slowly rub his mound of dominance. It's quite big, just like I remember it being. I forgot that he'd actually technically seen it since they bathed together. He's not fully ready to set sail like me, but he'll get there. Confident. This elicits a slight whimper from him. I honestly expected a moan or a grunt. Come on, give me something to work with, Lyall. Something wrong?
It's just...
You think I've forgotten about the display you put on for me all those weeks ago? This causes him to turn completely red in the face.
It's not like that. I was just taking a bath.
I place a finger over his muzzle. Don't you want to give me another show? He lets out a quiet noise of embarrassment before giving me his answer.
Yes.
After that, I take off his jacket and shirt. His large, muscular chest is now fully visible. Each pectoral is thick and makes him look so powerful. He helps me a little bit by taking off his gloves, and then we get to his pants. I get down on my knees as he leans against the bed, and I start to undo his belt. I rub my hand over his furry lower stomach as I pull his belt out through its loops. A wide grin appears on his face as he even starts to kick his legs a little bit. Grabbing both sides of his trousers, I begin to pull them down. His bulge comes into view as I tug his pants down around his knees. It's tightly packed into his undergarments, begging to be released. I rub my hand over his concealed third leg, giving it a firm squeeze and cupping it. Okay, I don't know. This is... yeah, okay, we're gonna skip and such. He lets out a movement of pleasure, shivering slightly. Something those with both hands. This is doesn't jump slightly. Please use my touch. I need this best. Alright. This feels a big thought. Let's feel one as I do this. The way to pull back the stone. Knowing how eager is, I get. This and ta-da! He's free. Oh, sorry. Large foot lives in the bed. Wow.
Are you okay with,
He sits back down on the foot of the bed, and I shuffle forward on my knees. Oh boy. I move my hands on his thigh and cup his balls. It's warm and heavy. Body looks in the stomach, and then the bare fit. It's pressure. I see the guy's nipple. You're really pent up, huh? Only a little. That's a long time. That's okay. Oh. Behind him, I can see his tail wagging back and forth really fast. He bends down and ooh. This is probably all those things I've seen. Nothing I can't handle though. At least with my hands. Thick's already throbbing and leaking a bit. Oh, this was I remember this was a surprise. Because I mean, he said that he wants to basically. Okay, how do I put it? Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. So, he actually goes into that drawer. He goes into his sex drawer. They end with one more, I love you. Whew. Yeah, that's not as awkward the second time. Man, that really threw me for a loop. I can't believe they said they love each other. I know they've gotten close, but honestly, I feel like they might need a little bit more time before they say that. But you know what? Hormones will do what hormones do. But anywho, it's been a few minutes since they finished, and we're laying next to each other, and they're laying next to each other, holding hands. Where did I leave off last time? Thunder rumbles outside of the window, and it's calming in an odd sort of way. It's nice, being safe and warm in here during what's most likely a small blizzard. His paw is much bigger than my hand, and I feel so safe with it resting there. Wow.
Yeah. You were amazing, my love.
God. Okay, that was too cute for comfort. And here's where I finally decided that we would end it, and that's where I'm deciding that we will end it this time again. Thank you guys for watching, and for being patient with me getting this one out, since it took basically 2 whole extra weeks. But regardless, this was a fun one. I mean, I wonder how this is going to change the nature of their relationship and the story going forward. But that's something we'll discover next time. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, I hope you liked it. If you did, feel free to leave a like. Any comments are always appreciated. They help with the algorithm because we're almost close to 1,000 subscribers. So, you know, anybody that's subscribed or is considering it, I appreciate it a whole lot because, you know, it's nice to actually be that close to that milestone. And you know, even if you have suggestions of other things I can do, constructive criticism, maybe my voice is suck, I don't know, but any of it is really appreciated. It's all helpful in the end. And yeah, but regardless, in the meantime, while the other episodes are being uploaded, feel free to check out my social medias too. I post other things there just to give you guys something to do while you wait for these episodes to come out. But until next time, I hope you guys have a good day, a good night, a good evening, whatever it is for you. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye for now.